Hello and welcome to this, the second round of the 6th season of the Virtual Touring Masters. Hello, I'm Ryan Cullen, and this, as I say, is the second round of the 6th season of the Virtual Touring Masters. This season is a rerun of the 2nd season, a classic season for the Virtual Touring Masters, which took place back in 2011. We are live from Suzuka today, and it's Toby Davis who won the opening race at Spa-Francorchamps, and they are currently in qualifying at the moment. I'm Ryan Cullen, and I will be joined by Keith Barrick a little bit later on, the world's most unreliable commentator perhaps, but he will be here, have no fear of that. So we're going to go into qualifying now and show you what's happening at the moment. And it's Adrian Hulme who set the early pace, as we can see from the standings here in front of you. And let's go and watch him then. In fact, Toby Davis was the fastest so far with a low 2 minutes 11 lap. And we've got 37 drivers out on track at the moment as Adrian Hulme is on a second out lap. Let's see if we can find out where Toby Davis is here on this field now then. Where is he? Lots people have set lap times. Try and cycle through, my apologies. He's actually 7th at the moment, my apologies. I actually completely lost him there. So let's go back to the 7th spot and see if he's on a flying lap at the moment. He is not on a flying lap at the moment. His opening lap was a 12.979. That's not a lap time that he will be pleased with. There's only 9 minutes to go in this session. We'll look at how long the track length is. It's 2 minutes. So drivers really have to get their skates on in this 15-minute qualifying session. So back to the front. It's Adrian Hulme, who's on a hot lap at the moment. It looks like everyone on their second flying lap, so we've missed the first flying lap. Here's Ethan Bass, he's 9th at the moment. He'll be very, very pleased with that. But of course, there is plenty of room for improvement here for all of these drivers. He's Gardner there in the background, just getting out of the way. Ethan Bass had a decent run at Spa-Francorchamps, and has looked good here also as well. Obviously, we're in Japan, and he's driving a Japanese vehicle there, the Nissan Skyline GTSR, the HR31 version, raced in the late 80s in the ATCC and briefly in the European Touring Car Championship and the World Touring Car Championship as well. To limited success, you have to say. I mean, in 1990, Nissan did win the championship, but they sealed the deal with the big R32 four-wheel drive Godzilla machine. Richard was driving, but he did drive this car for the majority of the season, so I guess you could say that this car is a championship-winning car in the Group A days. Remember, he's 2 seconds down on the fastest lap time at the moment. He might improve slightly, though I doubt it, because he will have to almost match Holm in the final sector. They're both driving the same car. Let's see what Ethan does then. Oh, gets it all sideways out of the casino triangle, right out to the grass all well. In fact, touching it on the outside, and he does improve. There we go, fantastic. Final sector there from Ethan Bass. Matched Adrian Holm pretty much there, so that he will be very pleased. That 13.7 at the moment for him. Back to the front of the field. People are now on their hot laps. Here is Adrian Holm. He was level after the first sector. Not sure if he's actually level, or whether the timing is going to give us a bit of a glitch there, but we will see here now. So we'll see Adrian Holm. Here he is in the black and white Nissan. Klaus Nyring in the red and white Nissan has gone into 6th spot with a 12.822. Yunus Raivio there is the interloper in the small Alfa Romeo, 12.689. He has done a 2:11 lap, but he is looking for a strong race strategy here. We'll get to strategy during warm-up, but there is plenty of differing strategies here, and we're in for an absolutely fascinating race. Adrian Holm now is going to head towards the second sector point, just heading down here. Tveit goes 5th with 12.385. We'll still want to improve on that. Toby Davis has gone faster than Adrian Holm in that second sector. Holm is still 0.000, so it might be a timing glitch there as Hennenberg goes at 2:11.791. Where has that come from? Him and Nyring have been working very hard indeed on these cars. Hennenberg had a bit of pace at Spa-Francorchamps. Nyring was a little bit behind him, but they both improved massively. Toby Davis goes 11.561. What can Adrian Holm do? 11.412 immediately takes back that pole position from Toby Davis, who's on a second flying lap. No, he's not. He's aborted that. And that's wise, because these soft tyres, these specialist soft qualifying tyres, they really only last for one hot lap. And once you start getting around the halfway through your third lap, as it were, of the run, the second hot lap, then you end up ruining the tyres, and there's no grip left in them at all, and you end up going backwards in the time. So who else is on the track here? Monroe, 11.838. He is on the moment. He's in 4th spot. He qualified well at Spa-Francorchamps. Rasmus Salo out on track. The Mark II Raw Steel and Sex Appeal for the exploits of Anders Nielsen in Season 2 of the Virtual Touring Masters. Here is Erik Tveit. He's right behind all of these. These are the 3 guys who everybody thinks will be fighting for the championship, and here they are, all on track, on an outlap as well. And there's not much love lost between Tveit and Davis either. Holm's much more of an easygoing character, but is part of the THR team, of which Toby Davis is the co-founder and co-owner of. But Holm has also been part of Ice Cold Racing, which Erik Tveit is the manager of. However, there are no teams in the virtual races, and every man for himself. But of course, those organisations and those cliques still come into play. Here is Yunus Raivio. Let's watch him as he goes through a lap now. Then let's go on board with him actually, and watch this wonderful, wonderful Suzuka circuit on board this lovely sounding Alfa Romeo 75. My apologies if you couldn't hear my voice for a bit there. Turn down the sounds now for you. So Yunus Raivio starts his lap now, heading down to turn 1. He's got some traffic ahead of him. He's hoping to get out of the way very quickly indeed, and they do. Not sure what they're doing there. They really should be a little bit more aware than that. And now here is another driver getting out of the way. There we go. He's out of the way. So I think that was Oscar Hardwick getting out of the way. So that was good from him. I think maybe Kjell Stenbeck was the other driver there, just moving out of the way. Not appreciating how quickly people close at that first corner. I have to say. Oh, Rivio just drifting off the apex through the S's. Now through Dunlop the curve. This brutal corner. A corner, whenever I've raced here, really struggled on. Big crash there in Virtual Touring Masters 4 pre-season, I believe it was. So now Rivio heads through the two Degners. Through Degner 2, and he's not happy with that lap at all. So he's quit back to the pits, and he will go again. He's got time for one more run. Who else is out on track? That was Salo. He's on a hot lap at the moment in this big brute of a Holden. He really is suffering around here, but Salo is hustling this car very well indeed to be in 5th spot at the moment. He's 4 tenths down in that first sector, which is completely understandable because it consists of switchback after switchback after switchback. And Rasmus Salo is not driving a car that likes switchbacks. It likes this acceleration and speed. All struggles at this corner even. Race Garner goes into 7th at the moment, so obviously the Holdens are showing some pace here. Now Salo through here. Now this is a fantastic section for the Holden to really open its the power taps, as it were. But it is still a handful through that gentle right hander all the way through. Now Spoon curve. This is also a difficult corner for the Holden. But now he can really stretch his legs. Here it goes, flying down the straight. Toby Davis is going faster than Adrian Holm in that first sector. In a titanic battle for pole position between those two at the moment. Salo now is 7 tenths down on the two leaders, which means he probably won't be improving because he's got a big gap to make up to get ahead of John Monroe. He's got 11.838 as he flicks it through the chicane. Now heads towards the finish line. This will be his final run. There's a 12.394. He doesn't actually improve, but very consistent there from Salo. As to Vite is out on track, we got, as I say, Toby Davis was going faster in that first sector, but something went wrong. So he has had to come straight back out of the pits again, and it will be nip and tuck as to whether he will get another run in. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Holm is back in the pits. He won't get another run in. Henneberg's back in the pits. Monroe's out there at the moment. Will he improve? Not seeing any green or purple sectors from him. And no, he doesn't. No, it's up to Vite. Can he improve? He could do with being ahead of that Holden on the grid. And Butcher goes into 7th. And Vite does pip Salo to that 5th spot. So that's important there for Eric Vite. He would like to be a nose ahead of that Holden going to that first turn. But Butcher, Gardner, where is Rivio? Here is Rivio. He's on a final flying lap. Brugman has gone into 12th spot. Here's the rest of the field for you. We've got a bumper field here today. 36 drivers. And it looks like Oscar Hardwick might not set a lap here if he's not careful. He needs to get on with it. 17.2 is 17.2 is the slowest lap so far, and that's from Ollie Marius Meervold. Back to the front of the field. Who have we got here? We've got Toby Davis. He's out on track. The ticker has timed out, and it will be very unlikely he'll get another run in here. So we may not see another lap time from Toby Davis. He may get halfway around the lap and it will cut out. But he's hoping there's somebody behind him that can help him. As Harwick there gets out of the way, and he goes into 12th spot for Oscar Harwick. So that's a great result for him, considering he was sweating on that. He wasn't even going to qualify for the race at this rate. Davis runs wide out the final corner as well, so that is the end of that. Davis will not be taking pole position here. Tveit is out on track still, but I believe this is his second lap on his soft tyres, and I'll be very, very surprised indeed if he improves. It looks like Adrian Holm will be starting on pole position here. Klaus Neiring is in 8th spot. Tveit now heads through 130R. Just about keeping it on the track. Oh, that's a bit too wide. And he won't be improving anyways. 9 tenths down as it is. And it's not going to improve his lap time. He needs to be within 4 tenths to get to John Munro. So Adrian Hulme is going to take the pole position here, and that is Adrian Hulme's 9th pole position of his Touring Pro Series career, and that could set him on his way to his 7th win, perhaps, in his Touring Pro Series career, but there is a long way to go, of course. We'll be right back with some more chat during the warm-up after this quick break.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Hello and welcome back to the broadcast of the second round of the Virtual Touring Masters from Suzuka. I'm Ryan Callan, and I am now finally joined by probably the world's most unreliable commentator, Mr. Keith Barrick. How are you doing, Keith? It's good to have you back.
Yeah, no, I was so excited to do this, and I got held up longer than I had anticipated with work, and literally raced home, and I obeyed every speed limit on my way home, I promise.
Yes, we believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
Yes.
Okay, Keith. So you obviously, we've had a great start to the season at Spa-Francorchamps, and now here we've got the usual pretenders, Hulme and Davis, at the front of the field. But as an interloper, Peter Hennenberg from Denmark.
Yes. It's nice to see some names that I'm not familiar with, and I know I've been a little bit of a hiatus. But as I look down in the top 10. I see a lot of names I recognize, and I see two here that I'm not quite familiar with. Klaus and Nyring in 9th there, and Peter Henneberg, both in the Skyline as well.
Yeah, they came into the Touring Pro Series. For those who are not sure about them also, during the Virtual Mini Challenge last year, they came from the Danish leagues where they've been ripping it up, and they decided they wanted a bit more of a challenge, and so they came across here, and they were part of Walk Racing for the Virtual Mini Challenge. Some great performances there also. But this is a completely new discipline for them, and they're adapting very quickly indeed. Just a word on Adrian Hulme. Keith, he's really turning into a complete driver, isn't he? Wins in Clios, wins in virtual, in V8s, and now here.
Well, you know what? I mean, we've seen him kind of grow from being a kind of a startup driver in Touring Pro Series, and showed a lot of speed all along the way in virtual V8s, and I mean, he always has had the speed, and it's nice to see him up top of the table.
I mean, it seems like such a long time ago, isn't it? 2011. Sydney V8, he almost wins on his debut. Everyone thinks, oh, this is a new star. A new star is born, but it took him a long time to find his feet once again.
Oh, well, you know what? I mean, again, it's funny you say it seems like a long time. I actually had a nostalgic moment and posted on Facebook. I was watching back some of the stuff, and I couldn't believe the amount of content that has been produced from Touring Pro Series over the years. And it's phenomenal to see, drivers you can literally go back and watch the history of a driver in these broadcasts, see them, develop and where they've made mistakes and where they've learned, and just kind of round their racecraft. And it's amazing just some of the names that have come through, and it's just, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be here with these cars and commentating and, seeing some familiar faces. But we should probably give a rundown of the grid here, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just about to say we need to run down this grid before we run out of time in warm-up. A minute and a half to go before the race. The race is 26 laps long. There is a formation lap also with a standing start, so look out for that. With Toby Davis' start, you may see him just be first into the first corner anyway, but we will see here. Had a great start at Spa-Francorchamps, pulled 5 car lengths on the field just on that short run to Lasso. So Hulme there on pole position. As I was saying, that is his 9th pole position of his Touring Pro Series career. Toby Davis alongside him on the front row. Second front row for him this season. Henneberg and Munro on that second row, and Munro again right up there in qualifying, hoping for a bit more luck in the race today. To right there in 5th. Rasmus Salo doing very well to hustle that car into 6th on the grid, with Rivio in 7th, Butcher in 8th, Nyring in 9th, and Gardner also doing fantastically well to hustle that car into 10th spot. Gardner enjoying a bit of a renaissance in these cars, it seems, at the moment. 11th spot is 209 alongside Oscar Harwick, with Brugman and Dobbing on the 7th row. 8th row is Stenbeck and Bass. 9th row is Orban and Oyala. 10th, Lennon and Jay Adji. Good friends all the way back in the early days of Virtual Touring Masters. Daniel Beck there in 21st with Sammy Shepherd alongside, and the 3 M3s all together there, you can see. Nielsen in 23rd, Ferrero 24th. With Vickers and Vanian, row 13. Row 14, Matthews and Bernard. Row 15, Meervold and Minar. Minar making his debut in the Touring Pro Series. South African, good friends with Chris Vickers. With Straub and Palmer, 16th row. 17th row, Broadbent and Demelin. And the 18th row is the other Demelin, the cousin of Tomasz and Jonathan Aukerklint. What a field we've got here today. 36 drivers, Keith.
Absolutely stunning to see this. I love seeing these cars again. It really brings back a lot of memories. You know, we've come a long way. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we have. And we're back to what we had before. So we are about to start the formation lap here. And while we do that, oh, if I turn that off, there we go. We are waiting for the drivers to go onto the grid here now then. And just while we're waiting for these drivers to join the grid and then obviously go around the formation lap while they prepare for this race, we need to talk about strategy, Keith. There is lots and lots up and down the field. We have no stopping. People doing the whole race without stopping. We saw that from Eric Tveit the first race. He almost won. Circumstances almost got him a great result. He finished third in the end and beat Wiesenmüller, who did stop, who he was battling with earlier in the race. So that may come in and be a factor here. We've got people who could be two stopping, Keith. We might have Toby Davis. This is a key thing.
The Toby Davis
strategy play. He thinks he's racing for third anyway.
Okay.
So he's going to roll the dice. He's going to go for a 2-stop mediums race.
Huh.
That'll be 2 8-lap stints and 1 9-lap stint. Okay. 26 laps.
Yeah.
He says the mediums hold on for 6 laps.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the hard times for the 7th and the 8th lap. And you lose 18 seconds in a pit stop.
18 seconds, 2 stops, 36 seconds. So it's the gamble that he's going to run into if he decides to go 2 stops is that not only do you lose the time in the pits, you also have to find your way around cleanly. So you figure on an 18-second stop, probably lose 2 to 5 positions, give or take, maybe more. Each pass taking maybe a second a lap. I think it's a bad strategy.
Okay, we've got the call there from Keith. We'll have a look. We don't know if he's actually going to do it, but we'll keep our eyes out for it. This is the word on the street.
This is propaganda. That's Toby Davis propaganda. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it sounds exactly like. Something Toby's planting a seed is what he's doing.
We've also got people who are doing the traditional 1-stop, the catch-all, the default strategy in Virtual Touring Masters generally is to do 2 stints on hard tyres in these feature races, which are 150 kilometres in length. You split the race up into 2, and you do it on hards. You don't always worry about your tyre or anything like that. You just get on with the race. So we've got 3 different strategies possibly at play here. We might have a 4th one perhaps where people may take mediums later in the race, do a longer stint on hards, shorter stint on mediums. Anything could be possible here. So we are looking forward to a fantastically intriguing race. Who's your pick, Keith?
Well, I mean, I just like the name Peter Henneberg. It just rolls off the tongue. But I guess I would say out and out pace. Obviously, I'm not. I still have to catch up with everyone's out and out pace. But Butcher's always fun. I'd say I'd probably go with Eric Tveit. I know his consistency isn't the greatest, but from what I understand, he's fixed his internet issues, which he's from the last races I've been involved with, just plagued with internet issues. So I think Tveit is one of the probably hardest driving people in Touring Pro Series. But
he will be no stopping apparently.
I like that. I'm going with ET.
Okay, so going with Eric Tveit. I'm going to go with Holm.
I like that one too. That would be my second go.
I say hedging your bets. You can't hedge your bets, Keith.
Well, no. I picked ET. ET's going home.
ET's going home. So we'll go on board now with Adrian Holm, and we'll wait for these lights. Oh, that's a great view there. See the lights right in front of us. Couldn't get any clearer view there, Keith.
And I wonder what track are we at? It looks like Suzuka.
I don't know what track we're at. We can't quite read that. I'm looking forward to this as well, and look, and also we're going to wait for all the drivers to grid up. This is a problem for your overheating parts with the Skyline, which has had a few problems in the past. So look out for that. We've got 36 drivers trying to grid up on this on here. Obviously, you have to wait for everyone to be in place before the race will start, and everyone's anxious. Here we are. The lights are on. And the lights are green, and away we go for the second round of the Virtual Touring Masters. It is Toby Davis who makes the best start, and he'll have the inside run down towards the first corner. He's already in the lead, and he should get the deal done here. He does. Adrian Holm gives him the room. Oh, he's straight off. Holmes off. He's gone straight on into the grass, and he's going to lose. Oh, he's going to lose 7 positions. Look at this. He's all the way back to 8th spot behind Eunice Rivio alongside Nyring and Hardwick. That is a big mistake there from Adrian Holm. That is race-changing stuff, and that is exactly what Toby Davis wanted. What a start.
Up to second. Look at him going that rover.
Henneberg has lost one but gained one, and look at Rafa Salo right at the back bumper of Peter Henneberg as they go now through the Dunlop curve. Looking back now from Rafa Salo, great start from Chris Butcher. He's gone from 8th to 5th, so plenty of stories on this opening lap. And Holm has held on to that 8th spot, someone really wide. That's Klaus Nyring, and Hardwick has got ahead of him as a result.
Wow, this is a bit of good start. I got to give credit to Adrian Holm for holding on to the outside there. Like, it's very easy to get hazy. And down the inside, Butcher, contact, but they're both gonna hold on there. Butcher, a little bit of a hip and shoulder. He slides himself up into the 4th position. Great start from him, but Holmes is the one who's suffering a little bit, and that frustration setting in right now. You know, you make a mistake, but you got to keep a cool head right now, and takes one back up to 7th now.
Yeah, that was tricky through there. Rivio was off camber, and even though he's on one of the better handling cars, his car still twitched through that gentle right-hand curve. It's almost through. So Holm now back into that 7th spot, and he's back in the game. He's not far off second. We can see second ahead of him, but there is a whole gaggle of fighting cars ahead of him. What will be your mindset right now, Keith?
Right now it's just, for Adrian, it's just you got to put it. You have to put it behind you. It is behind you. Lap 1, turn 1, you went off. Okay, just live with it. You're fast. You got the pace. Get yourself together. Take advantage of these guys battling.
Oh, look, this is a 3 wide. I was like, triangle. Someone has to move. Oh no, and Butcher goes straight back on a hit. Salo held on. You don't push that holding around very easily, and that's a good job for Salo because he's on the track. He's going to look at this. They both closed each other. And then Monroe came across to stop Salo, who went at the same time. And it's contact again. The ball's going to go off. Yeah, there we go. Butcher's off, and Nyring as well. Into Butcher he goes. There's carnage in the opening lap of his first turn, and the second lap as well, obviously. Butcher is pushed all the way back to 9th. That was hard driving all around.
Butcher's sideways. Look at him. He's just attacking now. This is the frustration sets in. You know, they went in really hard.
Back to Casino Triangle will go.
Let's see if we can get
Yeah,
okay, so let's see if we can get a bit of a bump shot here, because Butcher went wide coming through the chicane here. Gets a nudge from Salo in behind as he comes through. Butcher went deep, trying to make a move here, and it just looks like they just ran out of real estate. So Butcher goes across the grass.
And Henneberg spun. We didn't see that. Henneberg spun.
Oh no!
Back to 16th.
Well, this is where it gets hairy. You've got Butcher running there on the outside. You've got now the Holden squeeze it in, and he just gets a little nudge. But the Holden has all sorts of straight line speed, and as they're coming into turn 1 here, the Holden is having a hard time holding onto the inside, and Butcher tries to turn down to take the lane, and that Holden's going to push up the track every single time. Probably should have been better if he just lifted off, gave some room, and tried to get back to him going through the next couple of corners, but ends up going wide. But then Nyring gets into him too, who's off right where Holm was.
And there is where Nyring goes straight into Butcher and adds insult to injury. We're back to the front of the field. Get back to the racing now. Then it's Toby Davis who's leading by 3 seconds. Everything's falling into plan for him, although he will not like the fact that Eric Tveit, who is no stopping, has clear track right now. That's playing true. Right into Tveit's track. But he's lost 1.3 seconds through that little sector.
It's probably because he started on the hard tires. Toby is more than likely going to be on the mediums to start. Toby likes to attack. He likes to go at it hard. John Monroe making a nice move down the inside of Holm there.
I think he's holding off
defending. Yeah, defending. It's you know what, to me, I'm looking and I'm noticing a lot of these liveries I'm not familiar with because none of these cars have been selected in the past.
No, the Skyline was the the joint least popular car. No cars were selected from the Skyline in season 2.
There's Adrian Holm. Really close.
No,
down
not
the
going to make a
inside,
move there.
Quite.
And it's become the least popular car to the most popular car, which is quite incredible, really. But Munro holds on for now. We've got a great battle here between Hardwick and Rivio, and Hardwick has gone ahead of Rivio at the first turn there, while Butcher is sniffing around for an opportunity also.
That Alfa Romeo reminds me Gregory DeGrief running in the red one, but Butcher is going to be a little bit hot at the moment. You know,
he's not a driver with renowned for his, shall we say, coolness behind him.
Cool temperament, and I mean, I would be a little heated, and I mean, it was hard driving going into turn 1. In hindsight, he probably could have eased off, waited, because that Holden was going to. It's hard to slow down in the first place. The thing weighs what, 7 tons?
Well, it may be that Butcher was annoyed at Sarlo running down the inside at the second part of the Casino Triangle, and then Sarlo was annoyed at Butcher coming back on track and hitting him. So it was just all people, just a bit of a mess, really.
That's right.
And Butcher can see Sarlo right ahead of him now as well, so we may see a bit of fireworks here.
And he's got some motivation to get to him. And I mean, they've smiled, they've hugged it out. We should be okay.
You think it?
Yeah, I think they hugged it out.
They are teammates. They're all part of THR. So
look at the speed you've got of Butcher here compared to the Alpha. The Alpha never had that straight line speed, but you cannot beat it in the corners. You just can't.
Look, oh no, Butcher! He held on to that very well. I thought it was off.
Oh, I forgot.
If that was me, I would have been off.
I forgot about Muchacho. We love him because he is so macho.
I'm back here. We've got Dobbing. Abraham. Oh, that was let's say Abrahamson. It's not Abrahamson. That's who drove in season 2. That was 2 and 9 and almost shooting into the wall off the exit of 130R. And here comes Lars Brugman down the inside of Matteo Ban. That's not going to happen there. Leonard's out of this race as well, so that's a big shame. Minar has been disqualified from the race. I believe he probably missed the start of the race then, which is poor for him.
Oh, look at this chicane here, so hairy. Because you get too far to the inside of that, hit that one curve, the anti-cut there, it just shoots you right across the track.
While we're watching all these battles, Holm has made the move on Monroe, as we thought he would. Oh, flashing lights there, which isn't any good.
Hard defending for Brugman. Henneberg makes his way by up to 13th, down to now he goes down the inside to say, hey, all right, enough's enough.
Oh, and Henneberg is run wide. He's giving up the position again. Oh, what hard work. All the aggro of flashing lights, and he gives it up. Oh, down the inside, no! Not going to work, don't do that.
Okay,
Henneberg just he didn't do that.
Yeah, he's probably a little frustrated from the spin happening earlier on. I mean, that was hairy. There was, what, 3 wide through the chicane, and it's really good enough for a car and a half.
Yeah,
and Henneberg gets the worst of it, and now he's just trying to fight his way through here. And all the while, this is killing your tires too. Strategy starts to go out the window when you drive angry.
Well, I mean, just talk us through that, though, Keith, because this is only the second race he's had in these cars. He qualifies 3rd, which he'll be fantastically pleased with, and through no fault of his own, it's taken away from him. Talk about the mentality behind that.
It's a little disheartening because you do put the effort in. Now, it's curious to see. I mean, how was the effort put on pace or was it put on strategy? Because we know that we see the people who are generally successful with most of the leagues that we do run are the people who work more on their long distance strategy, i.e. like Jesper Talmer, the William Levesque, the THR guys always used to work on the length, on the long side of it. That's why the strategy comes into play. So I mean, he's making his way up through. He's got to get by Brugman again, and he needs to focus on, okay, look, let's get a good finish here. Things are going to play out. People are going to pit, and it's just cool head needs to take over. You have to find that zen and just use it.
Look at that run he's got it down the straight also as well. Oh, Brugman just gave him a little bit of room there. They've not exactly been nice to each other here. And Henneberg now, the power of that Skyline is sinking through into 13th spot.
Look at the rover though, just through the fast corners there, just all over him, and you can clearly see Henneberg is a little frustrated.
Oh, down the inside goes Brugman! Oh, where did that come from? Replay. That is deserving of a replay. Down the inside of the second part of that is the worst corner in the world for Peter Henneberg. He must be hating that corner right now.
But look at this. So it's what a run, and then Henneberg goes to set up for the corner, and he gets past on the outside. On the outside. What a move by Brugman.
That was unbelievable. And Henneberg's back through once again. I'm watching that. And then Oban and Dobbing are having a cracking battle here. And Dobbing's on the inside here. Oh, it's not going to work. I don't know why he went for that, because you're not going to beat an M3 through that corner.
No.
And now Brugman is all over the back of Henneberg. Henneberg just needs to get away from this because he's clearly got the pace over Brugman. But he just cannot get away from it right now. Around the outside once again. He's going to have the inside of Brugman.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. What this is an epic battle. Fantastic battle of epic proportions here. So Holm has dropped quite a ways now from Davis, who I'm positive is going to be on the medium tires. There's no doubt in my mind. And Holm,
12.2, we have to be.
If this is the case, Holm might be on the medium, the hards as well, because he didn't drop that far back from Toby off the start. Yes, he did drop a wheel, but he was still fairly close. So it looks to me like you've got...
The big story here is Tveit is back.
Yeah.
Full spot behind the row
Tveit,
now.
one stopping.
There's no stopping.
Yeah, sorry, no stopping. So it might work in his favor.
I mean, he was only about 5 seconds behind. I think the Skylines are on mediums.
Yes. They're probably doing... Skylines are probably doing a one-stop with mediums. I would assume that Tveit is going to be on hards just for the one stop, but look at this, Hardwick and Rauvio.
Replay.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Just a replay of what happened just a minute ago.
Oh, and look at that.
These
it's
two,
alpha, you know, that's like a
these two
tango.
alphas.
synchronized Alfa Romeo.
Must be a new dance.
Yes, it is. It's all the new jazz. But it's really nice to see how close these guys can run. I'm so missed seeing this.
And this
Butcher.
is the groove match.
Yes, Butcher, Salo. A little bit of bad blood in case you're just tuning in. They've gotten into each other twice, but in racing incident, Salo ended up...
We've got Machacho,
yes,
and Rasmus Salo, who's Raw Steel and Sex Appeal.
That's right. Yes.
So this is a battle of the men.
This is also a battle of the ages of the nicknames going back many seasons, but I do think that Butcher's gonna make a move here in the tights. He's gonna have to because of the power of that hold, and he can see that now Rasmus has gone to the defensive side of things, knowing that Butcher's there, and there's a little bit of tension.
Oh,
he's going around the outside. Chris Butcher on a long right hander. He's got the inside. Looks down. Oh, just squeezes him ever so slightly. But
that's great racing.
That power now. Great racing. How do you to run that fast at that speed while cornering too? It's fantastic stuff.
Now through the Degners as well. Look at how Salo is throwing that hold in, and he has to in these corners because
he's got to hold on.
Not great. And now he'll have the power. Look at the Butcher has the run, but look how the holding just pulls away, even that short little straight. And now Butcher down the inside here is going to make the move.
That's going to be it. He's booking.
Yeah, but the Holden, can he have the power now up the hill towards Spoon Curve? He has to hold him off here, Butcher, because if they get out of Spoon Curve and the Holden's close, then he'll get him into 130R. No doubt about that.
Look at the run. He's got the slipstream. Oh, but look, he's pushing up the racetrack, pushing up the track a bit. Ooh, he's still right there. He's closing because they're still under power. Long left here. He's right up on the bumper. Don't drink and drive, children. Oh, this looks good. I think he's got enough of a run to get in here and into the chicane coming up.
Well, I don't think so because the corner coming up is so treacherous for the holder. He's going to have to be a cracking move. Butcher's going defensive. Oh no!
He's done it! He's done it! He held it on the outside.
What a move there! That was fantastic stuff. Now Butcher's going to go back down the inside. Thank you very much. I'll have that position back, and that is wonderful racecraft from
that
both
is
drivers.
Fantastic. I got to give Rasmus credit there. He did give the room. This move here is one for the ages. Just squeak by. But as Butcher gets in the slipstream, headed into the chicane, you can see how early the Holden has to break. Butcher goes down the inside. Rasmus does give him a lot of room, so good credit there for cooling things off. I told you they hugged it out.
Oh, Butcher's gone on the inside. That is the theme of the race. Everyone's running wide at turn 1, turn 2 even, and Salo not giving any room. Oh, now this is getting a bit more physical. Maybe no, they haven't hugged it out. I don't think. No, because that was a lot more physical.
Oh, Butcher's so
unbelievable. And look at this. Hardwick and Rauvio are loving it.
I love it,
boys. I don't have to pit.
Those Alphas are going to be holding their tires pretty nice as well too. They're very easy on the tires, so this is perfect for them because Butcher and Salo are just tearing their equipment up right now. Just tearing them apart.
Every corner.
I know, but see, I mean, this is the great part, is that, but see now, this is all of what's happening right now is you're gonna see how it affects them later. Oh, into the back of Salo, sends him a little wide. Butcher's gonna get crossed over and gonna get a good run here. Salo holding the outside. Now watch the power kick in here. It's like the VTEC kicked in. As he comes up to the hairpin here. Oh, look at this! Down the inside is Rabio!
Again! Rabio doesn't need to be involved in this whole thing. He can't pass them, I don't think, unless they make a mistake.
No.
He just has to hold there and just, well, keep at it, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and Salo's wide.
Yep.
Shows some of it. That corner does not look like a challenge at all, but in this big heavy hold, and it really, really is. And if you go a bit too wide, you lose even more camber, and right onto the grass you go. So now Salo was going to make the same move, surely.
Well, I mean, this is a great battle because you've got 3 completely different cars. I mean, in almost all aspects. But look at this, the Holden's got the slipstream on the Butcher.
Oh, look at this Scorch! The Scorch has passed.
Oh, and Butcher's trying to hold the outside, just like he did the lap before. And the Alpha's gone wide down the inside. Chris Butcher into the chicane, and he's gonna do it. He holds on to it. And look at this, nose to tail through the chicane. 3 completely different vehicles. The Alpha could fit inside the Holden's trunk, and then they're off. And now you're gonna see the Holden take off from the Alpha. The Holden's gonna have the slipstream. Butcher goes defensive. Salo back to the outside, down into turn 1. And Butcher's past. Book it once more.
Unbelievable racing between these cars at the moment. The like which I've not seen in a long time. This is for 5th spot. It's like it's for the World Championship at the moment.
Oh man, this is something else. And you know what? And from the back seat here with Ravio in this Alpha, he is literally just a passenger at the moment because he has the car that is the most consistent, but just not enough to get by. Oh, sideways from Salo, and the Romeo's trying to squeeze through on Butcher.
No, don't do that. Well, don't be caught on the outside wall. I thought Rival's going to push the gas.
Butcher squeezing. The Alpha's going to try to hold on to that Holden.
That Holden is beginning to suffer on its tyres. Oh, and Butcher tried to put his nose where it wasn't wanted, and Salo made sure.
Sideways.
That is fantastic car control. I was lost for words for a second there because he drifted that at 100 miles an hour
and also
to a right-hander.
And no, they were both synchronized drifting. Butcher down to the inside of the hairpin.
This is actually harming. It's actually harming you, this driver at the moment. He's being held up by these guys.
He's being held up, but not only that, I think these guys' tires are going to be so cooked at the moment. The track temperature is a nice brisk 35 degrees at the moment. And from the backside, Oscar Hardwick is watching this as well. He's another passenger.
I think their tyres are 235 degrees after all this battle.
Oh, no kidding. And I mean, and once they get to that point, there's a breaking point, they're just done. But Holm has seemed to be able to hold the distance to Toby. It's 6 points. He's actually closed. It's 5.9 seconds for Holm.
It was 7 seconds a few laps ago.
It
so
was,
that is,
yes.
This is game on.
Yeah,
Davis will possibly be pitting end of this lap. No, he's not, but he's definitely struggling. Look, he's back to that 13.7. This is the range where they start coming back. So he's starting lap 9. If he is on the medium strategy, he'll be pitting this lap around.
Absolutely.
As will Holm.
Yes.
So look out for that.
And then John Monroe's, he's actually closed the gap a little bit as well too. Tveit is kind of held on. I'm curious if Tveit is on a no stopper, can he do it? Because he's losing about half a second a lap at the moment. Toby Davis did a 2:14.1 that last lap.
So, Tveit has 36 seconds in hand if they two-stop.
Okay.
So this is the and you may think, oh, 36 seconds. He's got plenty in hand.
No.
No. He's got 12 seconds in hand at the end of lap 9, and his tyres will be even more shot at the end of lap 26 or lap 19 almost. They'll be awful, surely.
Yes.
So,
well,
and he's going to lose even more time in the next stint.
Well, if you drop back to Butcher, these guys, now Butcher's actually got ahead. Salo is probably struggling to the nth degree. The hard part is now Ralvio will make it. He will make his way by just with the struggle on that car in front of him. But it's going to be back and forth again. He's going to get a run down the straight and back and forth. So, I mean, Salo really has to consider maybe slow it down a bit, save his tires, and then so we can get to the halfway mark. And then
the problem is he's got 4.5 laps.
Yes.
On these tyres are now shot. You can see that. The tyres are absolutely shot. I mean, he's not been able to get at all.
No, and now he's losing. He's losing, and now that puts Oscar Hardwick will be battling him hard because Oscar hasn't had to use up his equipment. If you go back one more position, we've got, I think it's Nyring, and it was Matej Orban.
Two friends, yeah.
Yeah. So these guys actually have been watching on the timing screen. These guys have been having a Henneberg, yes, sorry, Nyring and Orbach just behind them with Brugman just a little ways back. Like this is a nice 5-car train.
And we've got another Holden in the mix here as well.
Oh, Reese Gardner, yes.
Reese qualified 10th, so he's dropped back a little bit.
Yes,
but his car looks in a bit better shape than Salo's.
I would think so. I think a shopping cart would be in a better shape because of the amount of sliding that we just saw. It's almost like you're in a curling match.
Let's see what Reese can do down this straight, in fact, actually, because he will be zooming right up on the back of these two cars ahead of him. Because that's an M3, the lowest power car in the field. Oh, look at this! Oh, no! Oh, I was going straight into the back of him.
No.
I got Reese on it as well. Davis in the pits. Sorry, Davis in the pits. We'll go back to the... Okay. We have to go to this now. The strategy play is now coming.
He's in it now, 8.2 seconds,
Holm
so 10
has not
seconds.
pitted.
He is going to come. Oh, so Holm maybe. I said that already. He might go a one stopper. I thought he was on hards. So Davis out. It comes out in 4th, just ahead of his teammate Chris Butcher. Chris Butcher's got to be in the pits. He must. Yeah, he's in the pits. He must.
No, he's here.
No. Okay. Maybe not. Getting ahead of myself. So Davis is only 7 seconds back of Tveit.
Well, no, you'll find out in the first split here.
Yes. So Tveit is only 7 seconds back of Holm, which is actually very reasonable.
So he has to keep 18 seconds to stay ahead of Holm, though.
Yes.
But of course, if Holm's doing the hard, it's such a fascinating strategy battle here. I cannot wait to see how it all turns out.
Very interesting to see how things will play out here as we get going on. So he's 11.4 back of Holm after stopping. Yeah, so 18 seconds if Holm pits for the halfway mark. If Davis has
one pit stop to make, it's going to be tricky.
I think
most of Holm's time, he was back 5-6 seconds back of Toby.
Yes,
most of that time was lost because he went back in the field. So it looks like he can match Toby.
So he would need
a full stint.
Ideally, what he needs to do is actually pit now, because if he
then he has 16 laps on his hard. So I can't say that. Obviously, that would be. We're going to go back to this battle here because this has been a fascinating battle. Look at this lot. Oh, Tommy O'Yala has just spun. I just noticed that, and we've not
Peter
see
in
on
the pits.
Penny Henneberg. No, he's not in the pits. No, he's just gone backwards once again. So maybe him and O'Yala came together, perhaps. But Henneberg having a nightmare race after so much promise.
Yeah, he's got to get those work the bugs out with these cars and get comfortable, but definitely showed the pace.
And Dobbing's back there as well, so there's been a big shake-up here. Because Dobbing is back in this, and so is Henneberg. And they were all right up fighting with Gardner, and Brugman, and Raban, and Nyring for that 9th spot. So it's very interesting. And we're going to watch out for these pit stops here now and again.
Yes, so Holm leads Munro by 5.3.
So Munro is on hard, so he's got great pace, as Munro. I actually underestimated his pace. I thought it was on mediums, but he's definitely on the hards.
So Davis is on a 1-stop strategy.
2-stop.
So he is doing the 2-stop. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
He pitted him at 9 because we've got 26 laps.
Yes. Okay. So,
Davis can't resist that grip.
I know. I'm trying to calculate in my head how this is going to work, and I just think this is going to end it just fantastically.
Yeah, I it was so close.
We could start trying to analyze and figure things out, but I mean, really, we'll see as we get to around the halfway mark.
It looks like Tveit will be 9 seconds behind Holm at the halfway point of his race. Yes. When he has 18 seconds in hand. But that's working out perfect.
He doesn't
a great finish.
He doesn't seem to have dropped too much pace, but you clearly see Toby Davis is taking a ton of time out of him because he's got fresh rubber. And I mean, when you give Davis fresh rubber, and he's just like a kid in a candy store, just goes to town. But I'm curious to see how these other guys are going to go because I mean, Rasmus Salo's got to be just dead on tires right now. Had no grip whatsoever. Unless
he's done well actually to hold on to stay ahead of Harvick. I thought his tires were completely shot, but he's actually, held station. He lost 2 seconds to Chris Butcher in those 3 laps. So that's pretty good considering how badly his tires looked at one stage. So he's done pretty well. Brugman has now got past Orban
up to a top 10. There's my words.
Yeah, so that's the Holland getting ahead of Hungary there.
Yes.
And Brugman is actually missing the Holland match, which is starting in 7 minutes to race in this, and he'll be wanting to finish his race as fast as possible.
I wonder if anyone's giving him updates in TeamSpeak because it is a very team-oriented sport, and everyone's he's right! He heard we were talking about him.
That's straight off him. All band says, "Oh, thanks."
He's
So
all,
this will
thank
mean
you.
the Brogan will be like, "Yeah, but you know, I can go wide there, but then pass you down here, mate." So,
I can go wide.
sorry,
Why? Because race car.
because Rover.
Because
Exactly.
Rover, yes. I can already see the meme now.
Okay, so we've lost Lukasz Demolin, we've lost Anders Mueller, we've lost Kel Stenbeck. Toby Davis fastest lap as well. What if he's got power? Oh, an improvement! Oh, it's gone straight off.
Fast
It didn't
lap
go
for
straight
Toby
off.
Davis there, 2:12.8.
And he's
Very
passed
fast lap.
to right.
Yes, he has.
There was no hassle at all there. In
Inevitable.
Fact.
It was
Not receiving
inevitable.
replay, sorry.
It was inevitable, but now okay. So
And no
he was at
time
a
lost.
He was
Look
at a
at this.
he was at a 2:12.8. Davis for the fast lap of the race.
2:12.0.
Zero. Oh, sorry. Holm is at a 14.2 currently. That's 2.2 seconds a lap now that is being taken up. He is going to catch Holm in the next 2 to 3 laps. So just as he's about to pit, Davis should be right on his bumper, because knowing Toby and the way he drives, if he knows he's just done a really flyer lap, he can stick to those laps for the next 2. Unless he has something come up or there's any... Oh, Brugman is
Brugman
out.
out.
We've lost Brugman.
What were you saying
no.
about him quitting before 9 o'clock?
You know what? Perhaps it was a planned DNF.
There's 6 minutes to go to the Holland match.
We're going to have to go to
And
the
there goes
conspiracy
our
theorists
only-
on this. We'd like an article written up about the conspiracy theory of Brugman's magical DNF.
Tim Stroud was the other Dutchman in the field at the moment, so
Oh,
we'll see whether he actually
if he goes
spins
out,
it.
we're going to have a word.
yeah. Banned forever. So we've actually got 128 runners left now. 36 started the race, so we've lost plenty of vehicles. And we're on board with Toby Davis, watching him close right up on John Munro. This is lap 12. We've got 1 lap to go until the halfway, 1 lap to go until pit stops.
Oh, this is going to be
How do you
interesting to
see it, Keith? How do you see it?
I don't see anything.
You don't see anything.
I just see magic is coming up. Let's just so he is now 7.8 seconds. Let's see where I'll give you my foresight when I see the next interval, because I foresee him passing Monroe before he pits. You think Monroe will pit now, or will he try to undercut his first stint because Davis is there? Or will he
If I was Monroe, I'd pit right now because we're going to get past anyway.
Exactly.
No, he's not doing it.
No, and see, now he's good. Now the hard part of not pitting in this lap is that Davis will go by. There's no doubt about it. He's going to hold him off here, but he will make his way by. Davis is aggressive enough to make sure that he gets by, and he will try not to get hindered whatsoever. Ooh. I mean, the difference in brake zone, just because of the tires now, you can see Davis is able to drive so much harder through the corners. He's going to have to make the move and make it fast, because the more he's held up here...
This is the worst place to be held up as well.
It is, yeah. This is all where he needs to be going through and making up his time. And you know what? Maybe Monroe's strategy was to hold him up. To hold him up in a lap. Oh, Davis down the inside and book it. Okay.
Look at the extra grip. There we go.
I got to say one thing, though. I would say that maybe John's intent was to hinder a little bit, just so that so Davis doesn't have a full... He would literally have a full clear lap, no one in his way. And he could, if he's running 2:12 flats.
He still gained time on the Holm even during that, though.
Of course, but I mean, Holmes running a 2:14.3. So if that hindrance for Monroe slowed him up a second and a half, it also slowed him up as well. So it's flawed logic.
Well, I don't think Monroe slowed up at all. Actually, in fact, he just drove his line. And
that's true.
When Davis went through, it was maybe lost half a second. Was able to pass again.
Tveit is closing on Monroe now, so perhaps Monroe really should have pitted that lap, just showing how he's struggling here.
Oh, it's so difficult at the moment. It's going to play out fascinatingly because Davis has to make a pit. So does Monroe. You would think that Davis should beat Monroe now because they've both got 1 pit left.
Yeah.
And Davis will be faster than Monroe the rest of the race, sure.
Correct.
Tveit doesn't have a pit left. And he's got 3 seconds to Davis right now. He's got 18 seconds in hand on him. He's got 9.7 in hand on Holm. But that's actually 8.3 in hand. So it's going to be really tricky. Tveit may have 2 laps at the end of this race where he will be holding on and holding off Holm or Davis for this win.
Yes, that's very true. As it is right now, he's 10.2 back from Holm. Holm is in the pits. Monroe down as well too. So Holm, that lap obviously with the pit lane 2:16. So last lap Davis did a 2:12.8. Oh man, that's fast even with battling. Could you imagine if he hadn't been held up? So Holm, 8.4 second pit stop. Total should be about 18 seconds in and out of pit lane. So as Holm comes out, you've got now Eunice Ralvio is into the pits as well.
No, he's gone straight through.
Oh, he's just straight through. Okay. John Monroe comes out. Nyring. Monroe is out.
Nyring, yeah. So yes, Hardwick is in the pit. So Hardwick is going for the one-stop strategy on hards, it seems.
Yes.
Whereas Rivio is going for a no-stop. That is Matteo Ban pitting there, and that was Rasmus Salo just exiting the pits. There he is, just ahead of he'll be glad to fresh rubber with Rasmus.
No kidding, no kidding. Never been so excited for new tires.
2 birthdays at once for Rasmus Salo.
No
4 birthdays at once, in fact.
Absolutely.
So Davis is now 0.8 of a second in one sector out of Eric Tveit, and that is the Rovers' strong point for the sector as well. So showing how fast that is. So now Holmes 13.5 back of Davis.
Okay, so Tveit 5.7. This is where Davis needs to use that clean air. Can't use mistake. He can't afford mistakes.
No mistakes
at this point
at all.
Because every mistake he makes now puts him in harm's way at the end of this race.
He has to execute that pit stop perfectly.
Oh yeah, no,
he can't leave the repair damage option on. He can't miss the pit limit. He can't brake too early. He can't brake too late. You know, he has to stop on his marks. Everything has to be perfect.
Yes, I mean
the pressure is on here.
The pressure's on it, and I mean Toby's pretty good under pressure. I mean he's only crashed a couple times. He's only crashed a couple times under pressure, but you know, sorry Toby. Now Holm 13.5 back. Davis 18-second pit stop. Holm will drop by the end of the race to a 2:14 in that neighborhood. Let's see where Davis is.
So will Toby at the end of his stint. That's the thing.
Yes, but see the difference is that he will make up the time that he's lost. So let's see where Toby is now. Toby runs a 2:12.8 the last lap, and this lap will be same again. Okay, so he's a 2:12.8. Holm on the hards, I think, is only good for 2:13s, like 2:13, 2:13.5. So he's still going to continually lose time here until the end of Toby's.
He's lost 3/10 in the last 2 sectors, so that's manageable.
That's manageable because Toby's tires are going to be going off as well right now. So it's gonna, the last part of this race is going to be extremely exciting. So you don't want to go anywhere. You're going to need some popcorn. You need a cold beverage. You know, turn your phone off. This is going to be good to the end of this race. So how is Rasmus Salo making another discovery start? Obviously, with pit cycles, things are going to break through. Juha Tunainen is now up into just ahead, I think, but he's also into his pit. When it's going to have to pit shortly here in that Volvo. It's the first Volvo I've seen, I think.
There's only one Volvo this season, despite the fact this is a rerun of the season where the Volvo won the championship.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know why. That's just the way it is. Sim races never fail to amaze me. The most unpopular car becomes the most popular car. the car that won the championship becomes one of the least popular cars. What is with that, Keith?
Yes.
Explain this to me.
You know what? I'll never understand. It's because race car.
But also, as well, that Volvo is not quite as square as it was.
No, it looks a little rounded. I mean,
a bit more, you know, a few modernizations done.
I used to call it the grocery getter. That's right. Yeah. That was when
popularly known as the fridge.
Yes, well. That's right. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, 2:12.8 Toby. Holm 13.9.
Lost 1/10 again.
That's fantastic consistency on fresh tires here from Holm. Ralvio is 16.3 seconds back, so that's fantastic. I gotta give credit to him. He could actually be in there if he can keep the gap to Holm. Has he pitted?
No, he hasn't pitted. No.
Okay.
He's a no-stopper, so I think he's fighting for 4th spot. He's fighting to hold off John Monroe, in my opinion.
Okay. Yes. And he's currently 5 seconds clear of John Monroe,
who has fresh rubber.
Yes, that's true.
So it's going to be very... And Holm actually gained time on Toby during that.
Very interesting.
That 2:13.3.
So these are little mistakes that can't be made.
Well, it's the drop off of the mediums. He's on his 7th lap? That was his 6th lap on the mediums. So we were talking about how on the 6th lap they start going back towards the hards.
Yes.
That's the drop off right there. So, but the key thing I think for Toby here, the key thing that's in his favour, is that he did his long in inverted commas stint in the first part of the race. He did the first 9 laps.
Yes.
And then his next 2 are 8 and 8. He's not got the 8, 8 and 9 to do at the end. And you may think, oh, what's one lap going to make a difference? those medium tyres dropped right off, and he lost 2 seconds.
Oh no, I know.
On lap 9
yes.
of this race. So it's going to be. I think that could be the winning move. The fact that he might, for the fact that people dropped, we got a gap at the start of the race and people messed about. I think the fact that he was able to get that 9-lap stint out of the way at the start is going to win in this race.
Well, he's going to have his work cut out no matter what, because seen some great driving. I absolutely love that livery for some reason. I'm not sure why. Simple, black and white, love it. And Holmes driving it to perfection at the moment, it looks like.
He is. He's become a really, really well-rounded driver. I've been fantastically impressed by him, Adrian Holm. Everything's very smooth. And he's got tyre life. He's got pace. He's got temperament. He's got
pace,
racecraft.
Power, and precision.
He has got pace, power, and precision. But he did make that mistake at the start of the race. Yes. So he's not perfect. Worked on.
And I mean, it's no driver is perfect. I mean, it's hard to say to have everything go your way an entire season. It just doesn't happen.
An entire race, everything go your way.
Oh yeah, just you get it through an entire race, especially a feature like this, right? But so we've kind of spread things out a little bit. If you want to run down the field, we've got Monroe's settled in. Butcher's gone quiet because he's not obviously in a battle. Him and Salo have separated. They've gone to their their respective corners. They've hugged it out and they've gone to their corners for quiet time. Hardwick is running a solid 8th in that Alpha, trying to close down on Salo, and he could actually be fighting for that position as the race gets to near the end.
Well, let's quickly talk through the strategies here as well, so we're clear for all the viewers. We've got Toby Davis on a 2-stop on mediums. We've got Dwight no stopping. Holm is stopping once on hards. Rido's no stopping. Monroe is 1 stopping on hards. Butcher is 1 stopping on hards. So is Salo. So is Oscar Harwick, I believe. Tuunainen is not stopping. Klaus Nyring is 1 stopping, so he's in that 10th spot. We've got Orban, who is 1 stopping on hards, I believe, or maybe mediums, what I heard. Rhys Gardner is 1 stopping on hard as well. We've got Ethan Bass, I'm not sure what he's doing, but I believe that's a 1 stop for him. Same for Tommy O'Yard, who's 1 stopping on hards, and he's looking to gobble up Bass pretty soon here. Dobbing also, I don't think Beck, I didn't see Beck pit.
No, I haven't seen him up on the board either, so he might be going no stopping it. And Ockerclint, Zaji. Trying to see here who else. I know it's unfortunate we had Olmarius Miravold has retired recently here. We lost Simon Shepard as well in the last couple laps, and also Peter Henneberg, who showed great promise at the start, but unfortunately just
Well, he'll be bitterly disappointed, but he will be at least encouraged by the pace.
Of course, no. I mean it's
there's that consolation at least. The worst thing is when you run slow. And then you get taken out, and then that's the worst feeling in the world.
It's
at least when you've got pace, it's like, oh well, at least next time.
Yep, of course. And I mean, he can go back, watch the live broadcast, watch his replay as well, and just figure out what he can do a little better. And maybe some of our commentary might give him some advice.
Well, maybe you shouldn't get turned around in a 3-wide at Casino Triangle.
That would help him a lot, wouldn't it? Hey, you know what? We've all been there.
But this is Jimmy Broadbent. He's in his debut. Jonathan Hopkins has been passed by Jay Adji. He's now scooting away. Jimmy Broadbent's in his debut at the Touring Pro Series. Here.
Well, let's. I just sorry to interrupt there. I just wanted to see where the gap is, because this is now to the breaking point. 2:13.6 for Davis. Look at the gap. Holm is closing. He's at 11.7 seconds.
Davis is pitting this time around as well, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Let's get
so Vickers has gone past Broadbent. I'll quickly go. Yeah.
I just want to see Holm, because this is the moment where he's going to be right on the back of Eric Tveit. He's only a couple tenths back of him now as Davis enters the pits. Oh, did he enter the pit? No, he didn't. And down the inside goes Adrian Holm to take second position in with no fight back there from Tveit. He is on the same tires he started this race with. Yeah,
I mean, obviously Tveit as well is giving up a lot of power down that straight, some 60 horsepower into that first corner. So the Skyline, when it starts pulling, it's a very peaky engine. So if it's a slow corner and the gearing doesn't allow it to get in the right rev range, it can be very slow off the corner. But once it gets into that rev range, look at that thing go.
And look at the time though of Davis now.
Yeah, 40.7. And he hasn't. I'm surprised by that. He's doing 2 9-lap stints here, and then we'll do a 7-lap stint to the end. He's going to lose 18 seconds. He's will come out ahead of Rivio. And Rivio's losing time to Monroe now because 1.5 seconds is a gap.
And the thing that he's not considering is the time he's losing to do a 14.7 there. The earlier he picked,
that was last lap as well.
Yeah,
and this lap would be even worse.
the earlier he pits, the sooner he can do fast laps. He can gain track position, and it's the one thing I think I've consistently talked about. It is so important, track position. Get the track position. Worry about saving the car and defending later. Get the track position as soon as possible.
Maybe he feels he's going to drop back into third spot anyway. You know, and 7 laps is as much as the medium tires will give me. Let's just go for it.
Yeah, but see...
I think he'll get to right. I think he'll get to right, but I don't think he'll get home now.
But see, if he had pitted earlier, when he noticed his lap times were dropping off, and he goes and says, okay, fine, I'm going to drop off for the last 2 laps of the race, I can defend. Do you know what I mean? Sure. Because Holmes' tires would be that. Yes. And that's what I think his misstep in this race will be not pitting earlier in the second stint. Or sorry, in the second stint. I'll be okay.
Holmes was taking 1.3 seconds out of him in that middle sector.
Get in the pits now, Toby. There you go.
I mean, it's a long middle sector, to be fair, but Toby is now into the pits. 130 kilometers an hour is the pit speed limit as he roars into his pit stop. He'll have practiced that many times indeed.
And do you know how much time he lost in the last 2 laps? He lost a total of 4 seconds by not pitting earlier. 4 seconds, which could be the difference between winning and losing this race. Oh, his pit stop was 10.2 seconds, so he got an extra 2 seconds for that pit stop. Yeah,
that's a little bit slow for him. He's been a bit unlucky there. Quickly not helping him.
Oh, and he's come out just ahead of John Munro.
Wow, that has been very close. He's, in fact, lost almost 20 seconds.
Yes, he did. And look at the time by Holm. Holm did a 13.3, and he's well into this, into his second stint here. So
that pit stop has not been good.
No, and unfortunately he's now under pressure from Rauvio, who's got warm tires. Oh no, sorry, never mind. That's John Munro.
Rauvio's the one behind in the Alpha. You know the one we've been talking about for the past.
Yes. I think
past half an hour.
I think John Munro is going to be bait for that Alfa Romeo.
So John Munro's just past the Alfa Romeo, actually, Keith.
Well, there we go. Yes, I'm back in
something else, shall we?
Back in fine form.
Clearly a one-track mind. Keith, all we can talk about is one thing at once, and that's just the strategy of Toby Davies.
That's right.
Well, Davies at 10.7 seconds, look, that's going to be close.
He's got to right. He's not going to make up enough time, and I fully believe he lost over 4 seconds by not pitting a little earlier. He could have put himself in a position to be in control of the race rather than having to chase. And give me choice of leading over having to catch. I would take leading any day. Butcher's sliding. It's just sliding ever so gracefully there.
Yeah, that's the way you have to drive the Sierra, unfortunately. You have to gas up the rear tyres, get it to turn quite often, and that's detrimental to its tyre wear in the end. Just the way the car drives it, it's just full of understeer. I drove it in season 1, and I loved it before the season. I hated it 2 races in. Just understeer is horrible. The engine noise gets on my nerves. This is the engine noise. And we as commentators can't hear it, but you as viewers can hear it. It's just bass. I absolutely hate it. And it's one of those things. And if I was ever going to compete in this, I would drive for Mercedes. But that's a beautiful sounding car. But obviously, I'm stuck here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Stuck
with me. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, correcting me all the time. Eric Tveit, look at the case. So Davis now 9.3. Holm is down to a 13.8. I am absolutely certain.
It's going to be close.
I'm absolutely certain that his extra lap, just the 1 lap, forget going 2 laps earlier. The 1 lap is going to be the decider for him.
He did take 1.5 seconds out of Holm in 2/3 of a lap, though.
Oh, I don't doubt that he'll probably set the fast lap here in this stint. He's going to go by Tveit with ease. Tveit is still on the tires that he started 20 laps ago. Oh, look. See, now, when you see Toby dangling a car like that, it is because he knows he's fast right now. He knows his sectors, and he knows where he is in conjunction for a lap. Look at how much he's right on the back of Tveit already. He's almost 3 seconds back at the start-finish line split, and he is on his bumper now. So,
it's a joy to watch Toby driving this car when it's on song. It really is.
He knows the car. He's driven it so much, and it is, because you can see.
He's such a flamboyant driver as well.
Oh, of course. I mean, I don't think Tveit will give much of a fight here because he knows that the tire difference is huge. It's just a matter of where on the track they're going to get to. As I say, I'm going to eat my words.
Well, I don't think there's any move on there, really. Tveit's just on a private line, pretty much. But the thing is, these two don't like each other very much. Well, so Tveit is not going to make his life easy. He's going to roll over.
Yeah, come on, boys. Hug it out. Let's go.
He's actually going to the inside to defend here as well. That will irritate Toby no end. He'll just outbreak him into here. There we go.
Beauty.
So maybe
Nice
Survivor
move.
let him go. I'm not quite sure there. That was a... How would you call that, Keith? Was that he defending or was he letting him go?
That was friendly, but not friendly.
Oh, well, that's not an answer, but okay.
Exactly. I'm being political. Toby Davis now 8.7 seconds back. Actually, that was at the last split, but he's now ahead. So we will find out at the next split where he sits in conjunction. But we'll maybe give a quick rundown there. Ravio is...
he actually lost a tenth of a second behind Dwight.
Okay, so...
In that middle sector, which is a long sector as well. So that was
13.8.
costly.
There is quite a few laps to go, and I don't know. It's going to be...
6 laps left.
So 13.7 from home. Let's see Davis as he crosses the line. You look at him pull away from Tveit though. You can really see the difference the grip makes as he closes in.
We gained 0.8 in that final sector, which is very short. It's just a casino triangle basically.
Yeah. So now 8 seconds, 5 laps to go.
This will be the indicator this lap, surely.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we'll leave him be because if we keep talking about him, he might go off the track.
He's driving like a madman. He really is.
Oh, absolutely. There isn't much else of a battle other than you've got a few guys that are fairly close in around the 10th mark.
Let's run back down the field and give everyone the story of what's been happening to them in the races. So Adrian Holm qualified on pole, lost the lead off the start of the race, went straight into the gravel trap on the outside of turn 1, went back to 7th spot, fought his way back through quickly, and has been in a one-stop strategy ever since. He's led plenty of laps here, but he's holding on to try and stay ahead of Toby Davis. He's on a 2-stop medium tyre
7.2
strategy. 7.2 is a gap now, so that's going to be fascinating with this race. So there's 5.5 laps to go. Tveit is on a no-stop strategy. He started well. He's in 2nd spot, but he's not been able to hold on pace-wise in the manner we expected. John Monroe is gaining now on Tveit. He's been in 4th place pretty much all day, and he's on a one-stop strategy on hard tyres. Ravio, he's on a no-stop strategy. He's been in some fantastic battles with Harvick, Salo and Butcher, and he has come out on top of those two. Butcher and Salo are way behind. Look at that, 10 seconds and 18 seconds behind. That shows how different the strategies have played out, Rafi. And Butcher, he was in a great battle with Salo for that 5th spot, and Butcher found himself shoved off into the gravel trap and pushed off while now he's having a little moment of his own at the same time as well. So that was fantastic stuff there. Now Butcher's back into 6th spot. I've been quite pleased with that considering the altercations that have gone on, but not pleased in the fact that he's a race winner during the series and needs to improve really. Salo is in 7th spot. We've seen him sliding the car around plenty of times. He's on a one-stop hard strategy. We've talked plenty about him just now. Nyring, he's had a great race, I have to say. He's up to 8th spot. He's been off the track. He's pitted. He's got Oscar Harwick in behind him also. He's also had a great race with Ravio. Plenty of battle in there. He's had a one-stop strategy. The gap down to 6.5 seconds now.
Yes.
Holm and Davis.
And Monroe is now on the back of Tveit, and I don't think he's going to have anything for him. And actually, with the slide that Tveit has been had here, and the significant drop in pace, Ravio is probably likely to go by him as well before the end of this race.
Yeah, and just to round up the top 10, 2 and 9, and it's had a great race here. Didn't qualify anywhere near the top 10 from what I remember, something like 16th, 17th, and he has on a no-stop strategy, and he's clinging on, I would say, ahead of Orban and Gardner, because these two are coming at a rate of knots, so we may see Gardner and Orban get up to top 2 and 9 before the end of this race. But the big story is at the front of the field. Holm is holding off Toby Davis, and the gap is now, it's still 6.5 for that first sector as Davis made a mistake.
Have a look at the time by Holm. He actually picked it up. He was doing 13.8s and then he dropped down to a 13.5, and that's
but this first sector, he's not getting any time, Toby.
No. He's pushing really hard. This is going to be it for the 3rd position. John Monroe looking to take 3rd from Eric Tveit. Looks around the outside of the hairpin, going to do a crossover here, and he's going to try to park it on the apex. That Rover's got all sorts of pickup. John Monroe just trying to take advantage of the fact Eric Tveit is basically driving on cords as Monroe looks down the inside, and John Monroe takes a 3rd position as Tveit does a quick little crossover, but he's got no grip. He's on ice out there right now. He's on ice.
He's just making sure that Monroe knows he can't make a mistake, because if you do, I'm going to take that position backwards again. He just put pressure on the other driver, and this will be Monroe's 5th podium of his Touring Pro Series career if he manages to hold on here. Davis pulled out another 0.8 of a second of Holm's lead. And now he's got this final sector to go before there are 4 laps to go. I did say 4 laps to go a minute ago, but actually 4 laps to go now. So, here we go. 23, 24, 25, and 26. What is the gap?
Let's see
5.4. He has to gain over a second a lap.
He's not taking enough time out. See, now this is, again, and I know I keep hashing over this, but if he had chose to go in even 2 laps early and got those fast times that he has just banged off here earlier and got closer and was able to maybe pass, it then becomes a race rather than him trying to chase. And it's so much easier when you have a car in front of you to find that little bit that you need. But right now, he's not doing the times that he needs to catch him and pass him. He just isn't. Holm is too consistent at the moment with 13.4. Again, the last lap. He's actually getting quicker as these laps go on here. So
beautiful driving.
Fantastic. I mean, he's how many laps is he in on this now on those tires? He's what? 11 laps?
7 laps. 10. Yeah, this would be his 10th lap.
11 laps, and he's in the last 3 laps of this stint. He's gotten faster every single lap. So, you know, great on him. Davis is now 4.9, but he's not
a heavyweight battle.
It is. It's a heavyweight battle. 2 guys who have endless amounts of experience, who have also, you know, had their blunders and things happen to them over the course of their career sim racing and touring pro series. But it just shows that, you know, these 2 guys are going head to head here. And I mean, John Monroe and Tveit have had great races as well, respectively. But these guys have the pace here at Suzuka.
I mean, they're not close on track, but this is one of the most intense races, I guarantee you, of these 2 drivers' careers right now in sim racing.
Sure.
They're not close on track, but this is all about trying to hammer the clock. And it may sound boring, but that's absolutely key here. And they're not racing, they're not on track in that intense battle. They are trying to go around the track as fast as possible, not make any mistake whatsoever at the moment, and it can be broken just getting out of the way there.
Yeah, very good there.
Of Toby Davis, and Toby only lost 0.1, only gained 0.1 of a second during that middle sector. So
yeah, we'll see what
he's dropping that advantage.
Yes, and you're going to see his tires are going to start to go off with him putting the mediums on as he crosses the line. Adrian Holm does a 13.484, so he got faster yet again, or just almost the same lap.
Same, yeah.
So
Davis gained no time to that final sector.
I have a prediction here. I'm going to say that with the words that have come out of my mouth here today, you're going to see Davis and the likes of who would potentially do 2-stop. I don't know if anyone else is doing 2-stop. I think it's only ever really been Toby who goes for the 2-stop. He might take those words and use them because, like I said, 4 seconds would be the difference. And if 2 laps in, if he'd done it 2 laps earlier, that could have been the 4 seconds that he needed because he lost.
I think 2 laps early would have been a bit too much.
But let's see how far he falls off, because he lost 4 seconds because of how bad the tires had fallen off at that point. And again, like I said, if he has and he's run wide.
Oh, he's run wide now as well, so we've got mistakes coming.
We're talking about him. But no, this is exactly what you predicted. Holm, you predicted that the strategy would play huge here. Toby thought he was driving for 3rd. Like you said, 3rd or 4th, right?
Yeah, 3rd spot. So I mean, he's still better than his expectations.
Yes.
That's what he was saying in the interview.
Oh yeah, he said no, I wasn't expecting to win, but I gotta, you gotta give credit to Holm for the pace that he's held here. But a couple of good runs here. I mean, like Salo, with all that's gone on for his race here, he's closing in on Chris Butcher. We could see round 17.
Round 7 it's not been a knockout blow for those 2 yet, but there's been plenty of knocks to the canvas, and they've got back up each time.
Fantastic racing.
How did they do there for the boxing?
Not bad.
Punts. Is that pretty good?
Yeah. Not bad. He's got him up against the ropes. He hits him with the left, the right.
No, that was no. This is time and place, Keith. Time and place.
Yes, that's true.
But 2-9, we talked about 2-9 and holding on to that 10th spot. And he's not been able to do so. He's gone back to that 12th spot now. So Orban and Gardner have gone past.
Ralphio's right on the Ralphio's right on the back.
Oh yeah, this is fascinating stuff.
For the 4th position. Now, just to give you some
these 2 are not pitting.
These 2 have not pitted. These 2 have not pitted. So this is fantastic for both of them. This is a top 5 run out of 2 completely different cars and characteristics. The Alfa Romeo and the Rover.
And two completely different races. And
yeah.
If Rivio beats Tavaiti, that's a massive victory for Rivio because Rivio is involved in battles.
Yes.
Rivio was involved in qualifying further on the field. He's been involved in Salo Butcher battles, been racing Hardwick, he's been racing Monroe a little bit as well. And Tavaiti has been out front by himself most of the time. So this has been a fantastic effort from Rivio. Tavaiti, quite frankly, has not done a good enough job of holding onto those tyres. He's had a clean run, and he's not done well enough to conserve those tyres.
Well, have a look at this. Adrian Holm has dropped to a 2:14.2, but I think it's going to be too little too late for Toby to get there.
Ultimate lap,
yeah. Like, and again, I'm going to, like I said, 4 seconds would be the difference in the line. 4 seconds.
Yeah, but I think 1 lap earlier, yes, I agree with you, but 2 laps earlier,
but
I've got to say he would be on court by the end of the race.
But also, they would be in battle. They would be on track battling. So both Holm and his tires would go. I'm not gonna drop this, right. I think my strategy was right. I'm not dropping this. My strategy would have won the race.
I think if he pitted 1 lap earlier, it would have been 2.5 seconds closer. Also, if I had a better pit stop, Keith, that 10 seconds has been quite dearly, really. Yes. And he usually, the pit stops are around about 8.5 usually, so that he lost 2 seconds of the pit stops. So 1 lap earlier and a good pit stop would have put him right there. And also, I don't think he would have tried as hard. We saw him trying so hard.
I know, exactly.
And that released a mistake.
Oh, he's down to 3.2.
0.6 of a second. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's. Oh, and that's him just pushing. And look, you can actually see him now. This is what I'm talking about, Ryan. This is what I'm talking about. He can see the back of his car.
Oh, he goes wide there as well, though.
He's got a carrot to chase. That's what he needed. Oh, you can just see he's on just the ragged edge. However, I mean, he's there. It's 14.7 from Holm, so down to 3 seconds. So this is the final lap of this race. Here it all comes down to 3-second gap with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go here. Can Davis close? Can Holm keep the composure? Let's hop on board with Holm and see how his car's faring and how he's driving. Maybe hop on the front there and see if he's under Wigglefest here, which it did look a little bit like it. So
he's certainly having to try hard.
Absolutely.
There's not a gimme here. I mean, after 150 kilometers of racing, the gap is going to be less than 3 seconds between the two drivers who are on completely different strategies with completely different cars.
And Ravio and Tavaiti, they swapped positions twice there. I saw that Ravio had made it by, but then Tavaiti made his way back through.
This is last chance as well, last lap.
Last chance, yeah. 2.3 for Davis. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, if Holm makes a mistake,
1 lap.
If Holm makes any kind of mistake here, this will be Davis's win.
Yes. It's this is where we always, when you put it, say this is Adrian's race to lose, or put in whoever's name is leading and being closed down by second place, because there's nothing harder than trying to block out the fact that you're being closed in hand over fist, and you only have to make a few more corners to get through this race and finish off what is, you've done everything right. You're down to the last few corners. This is where the mental composure has to come in, and Holm has obviously developed over the years of racing, and you can clearly see he's holding on to it. But I mean, Davis, it's just menacing.
I mean, you can look at it both ways. If Davis had pitted 1 lap earlier or had a better pit stop, he would be right with Holm. But if Holm hadn't gone off at the first corner as well, it works both ways. So I think this is probably going to be a fair gap in the end.
Oh, and Davis is a great one. 1.8 seconds to go, and this is going to be it. This is it. Toby Davis needed to pit that 1 lap early. If he just listened to me, you could have been right there. But look at this, Holm taking home this win. What a drive!
Fantastic for him, and he takes his first win of the season and his 7th in his Touring Pro Series sim racing career. What a fantastic race we saw here today. Davis just a couple of seconds adrift. 2 fantastic drivers and 2 fantastic strategies as well. Who's going to come third? It's going to be John Monroe. He's going to have a fantastic finish as well. Well done to him.
Nice
Great
podium.
stuff.
And look at this! Final corners!
Tavaiti went off!
Oh, and Ravio, that was an internet connection, was it? Did I curse him again?
I don't know, but Tavaiti went straight off of the final corner, whatever happened, and Ravio picks up 4th spot.
Ravio takes a 4th in the Alfa Romeo. What a run. What a run.
Fantastic stuff. And Tavaiti in 5th.
Yes.
with Butcher comes on 6th. 7th spot, he's going to be Klaus Nair. He almost got, he's got ahead of Rasmus Salo, look, so maybe Salo and Butcher had a bit of a battle, and Salo lost out. But 9th spot's going to be Oscar Harbeck in his debut in the Virtual Touring Masters. Well done to him. He was right up there with Jonas Raivio early on, but he did do that pit stop. He lost 18 seconds, of course, in a pit stop. He's going to be more than 18 seconds back as well, so it shows how quick Raivio went in that Alfa Romeo in the end. Well, Orban's going to take the final top 10 position. Reese Gardner
just
in 11th
inside
spot.
the top 10. Well, I'm glad to see Reese. I know he's been suffering quite a bit the last I'd been fairly involved, and it's nice to see Reese out there racing, and good run for him.
And 2-9 and no stopping in the only Volvo in the field comes on 12th. 13th Tommy O'Reilly just holds off Ethan Bass for 14th. And 15th spot's going to be JIG. He's forced his way back to the field. He had a couple of problems, I think, because he's had to pass quite a few cars here today. 16th spot's going to be Chris Vickers. He's going to get some points on his return to the Virtual Touring Masters in his second race. He'll have enjoyed this track in that beautiful sounding Mercedes-Benz 190E. And 17th is going to be, is it going to be Johnny Locklear or Salsa Ferreira? It's going to be Auckland, surely, with that Mustang power. Oh, they're still side by side. And Auckland just holds off the 635 of Bruno Ferreira. 19th spot goes to Daniel Beck, with 20th Tim Straub, the final points paying position. Well, I am pretty worn out after that race. Keith? Oh, just tell us your feelings.
Just take a breath. I bet you Tim Straub is already disconnected Reddit and going to watch the game.
He probably is. It's probably why you finished the lap down, so you can quit quicker.
Yeah, I'm out.
So, let's go. Sum up the race for us, Keith. What are your thoughts?
We saw some strategy was the big thing, obviously. The feature races always provide that. We basically saw Holm make up for the mistake he made early on. Any driver can make those kinds of mistakes. You get just a little hot, cold tires. But he did amazing to come back, keep a cool head, not get into any incidents. That's the biggest thing when you do run off, especially having the pace that he has. So many times you get a guy, pole sitter, off pole, whatever, top three to start the race, goes off. And then as he's making his way back up, get involved in something, and then that puts him at a disadvantage even more so than he's already put himself there. And he just did a great job. I mean, that's experience, maturity that comes out and shows, and you get that result from that. And to hold on that last lap with the menacing Toby Davis closing down, literally hand over fist on the final lap. You probably could hear the tires squealing from Toby Davis's car. Adrian Holm just doing it and getting it done. For the rest of the drivers,
of the day, Keith?
Oh, Adrian Holm for sure. That definitely goes without saying. And I'd probably go with the secondary of Eric Tveit for holding on to that Rover without pitting.
Well, I'll give it to Raivio over to Tveit, because then neither of them pitted.
But he's in an Alpha. The Alpha's on rails. It's like a go-kart. Come on.
Okay, so we're going to return in just a few moments' time here. We're going to have some driver interviews. You get your breath, we'll get our breath, and we'll get some answers and some thoughts from the drivers who intend.
We're going to pick some brains here, so we'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we are back now with the post-race driver conference from a press conference. Oh, I get my words out. And this is from the second round of the Virtual Touring Masters. From Suzuka, fantastic race we've seen. Adrian Holm taking the win ahead of Toby Davis and John Munro. We are joined now by the drivers. And first of all, we'll start with the race winner, Adrian Holm. Adrian, fantastic drive for you. But what was going through your mind when that happened at turn one?
Oh, I thought it was going to be one of those frustrating races where you should have been so much more than what it turned out to be. But yeah, you know, got lucky. Got through very quickly again and could just drive my own pace. Obviously, one stopper. I didn't know that Toby was on a two stopper, so yeah, when he pitted.
Secrets within the team then. That's a THR.
Yeah.
Two drivers.
THR trademark.
THR trademark, making sure nobody knows what anyone's doing. But you drove fantastically well. The consistency was superb. But I mean, at what point did you think, yes, I've got this one? Did you ever think that?
When I saw that I had a pretty handy gap halfway through the race, I thought, oh, this might be possible actually. And then first couple laps out of pits, just being dropping out of it ever so slightly to save the tires for those extra few laps. They stay good for a bit longer, and then just head down, don't look backwards. Actually turned my mirrors off on the last lap.
So the best thing to do with Toby Davis ranging up on you. I mean, well, it gets to lap 9, and Toby Davis pits at that point. What were you thinking then when he pits? Are you thinking, oh, he's on a two-stop, or are you thinking, oh, he's just pitting early?
I thought definitely two-stopper, because obviously lap 9 is 2 9th lap stints is 27 laps, so just one more lap than the race. So I immediately realized he was on a two-stopper, and I thought, what kind of witchery does he have up his sleeve now? And I was like, just waiting for it all the time. But he caught up so quickly in the beginning of stint 2, and I was like, oh, he's going to do 2 medium stints now and just kill me at the end of the race. But yeah, it worked out, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, fantastic job. And we go next to Vitus Park in sprint races. How are you feeling about that?
Never seen the track, so that'll be fun for sure.
So
Skyline seems to be good all around, even though I thought this was going to be a bit of a booger round for it. But long straight seems to work out for this one.
Excellent stuff. Well, great driving today, Adrian. Congratulations on taking your 7th TPS career win also, and your first in the Virtual Touring Masters. And Keith, you've got Toby Davis now, and you can fix his strategy, apparently.
Yes. Toby, great race today, by the way. I mean, it's always a treat to watch you drive and just dangle that car, man. I mean, it brings back so many memories. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
Ha. Yeah. How am I supposed to fix my strategy?
Well, I mean, okay, let's just talk about it. So what put you, what made you decide to go with the two stop? So just explain why you went with that strategy.
Fine. Because one stop, no stopping is a no-go for the Sierra. It's a waste of time trying to get it to last. So it was between a one stopper on doing hards, which was the safe option. But I worked out the mediums were about a second a lap quicker, or 0.8 or so. Yes. And so long as you can keep them in check to the end of the stint, you should be able to gain back the 17 seconds or so for the pit stop over the whole race distance. So I figured going on mediums, try something different. And to be honest, actually, I'm happy with second. I thought I might be battling for third. So I'm happy with second, but as it is, all I did was use the mediums too hard in the second stint.
Well, see, now that was just it. Like, it actually, the timing wise, it looked like it was going to work. Now, your end of your second stint, I'm curious as to why you didn't try pitting a lap earlier, because your times have fallen off, and actually based on times, you had lost in that extra lap. You lost almost. It was over 2, like from the lap prior and the extra lap you stayed out. You lost almost 4 seconds. So pitting that one lap early. That's what I was just saying.
I know. Going through my head was I wanted to have better tires to attack at the end, so I could really kind of rinse them in the final stint, which I did. I did for 3 or 4 laps. I properly pushed, like qualifying laps. So.
Oh no, we watched the laps as you were going, and it's a treat to watch you in the Sierra. It's a car you know so well. But you have commentated with me in the past, and my position all the time is track position is worth more than having a car under you to attack with. And
you're right.
That's why I said,
you're right. But I was never going to have track position over Adrian. He was always going to overtake me. So
you watch that broadcast back, and you will be eating those words, Toby.
It dropped from 13 seconds to about 9. And I needed 17 to get ahead. So
you did fantastic, though. It was a great run. It's great to see, and even though you guys weren't battling like car to car on track, Ryan had pointed out that it probably is one of the most stressful races because you're getting there, time's running out, and for Adrian, he turned his mirrors off, and I mean that's such a great thing to do, to just stop thinking about what's going on. So both of you guys, it was a great race. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And so Toby goes to the next round of the championship in the joint championship lead with Adrian Holm, and he goes to the scene of his first Touring Pro Series victory, Keith, at Vitus Park. So he'll be looking forward to that track. I have no doubt whatsoever. So I'm going to now speak to John Munro. John, fantastic race for you. Everything really worked out really well for you. Had a fairly clean run and brought home the prize.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about it because nothing really happened. To be honest, I mean, Adrian, after he made the mistake at the start, I didn't have a great start, so I was down in about 5th or 6th. But things sorted themselves out in front of me, and I managed to get about 3 of them out of the chicane on the first lap. So that was all neat and tidy. And then Adrian came up behind me, and I knew he'd probably have the race pace over me. As you know, Adrian's a fantastic driver, and he wrings the neck out of the skyline. So I just thought no point holding both of us up and getting brought back into the hands of Sal. I'll just let him go. So once Adrian got past, I just focused on my race, tried to keep up with him as long as possible, but it didn't really work. And at that point, I was kind of aiming for a 4th position finish, not expecting Tvite's tyres to drop off as much as they did. So in the end of the day, I have no complaints, really. I'm absolutely delighted with that.
I was going to say, I mean, I was surprised that you caught and passed Tvite. I mean, so easily, so early on. I thought, if you were going to catch him, it's going to be right at the end of the race, but you caught him with several laps to go. I mean, were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. The rate I caught Ravio at first, because Ravio was the first man I came up to who hadn't stopped, and I knew he'd be good in his tyres, but I was, once I got past him, Tvite was still about 11 seconds ahead, and I thought, right, by the end of this race, it's going to be such a tight one, I just need to get the head down in hot lap, but 3 laps later, I was right on his bumper, so he obviously just put too much into the tyres, probably trying to keep up with me earlier on in the race, because me and Eric were closely matched right up until the first stop, so yeah, I was surprised at that, and pleasantly surprised that is, so I mean, delighted with 3rd, and well done to everyone, especially Toby and Adrian. They did a great job in that one.
Okay, thank you, John, and that's your 5th podium of your Touring Pro Series career. Congratulations to you. Now, Keith, you're going to speak to the flighty Norwegian.
Yes, Eric Tvite, how are you?
Well, a bit exhausted.
I can imagine driving that Rover with basically cords for the last 7 laps or so.
Strategy was never going to work, but nah.
Well, I like your ambition, though. I kind of came up with a thing there as with Eric Tvite. It said "ET go home," you might catch that a little bit more. But no, I mean, just describe to us how difficult it was after like the halfway mark.
Oh, it was just about keeping the car on track, which I didn't manage to do either. So. It was just ridiculous because I didn't have any grip at all, and I knew whatever I would do, I would lose time.
Yes.
Because once I knew that Toby went with mediums all race, I saw that now I don't stand a chance, no matter what I do, because I simply didn't have the pace.
Of course.
I couldn't even keep up with Monroe and Holm when they were on Haas.
No, just in hindsight, you mentioned the mediums. With the mediums, would a 2-stop strategy have been better for you, do you think?
I don't know, because I wasn't as fast as Toby. Nowhere as fast. Because he could do the low 232s with them. Yes. I was doing mid 232s, high 232s.
Yeah. 212s. 212s.
12s, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, so in hindsight, it might have been better, it might have been a little easier, and you might not be your arms might not be numb right now, is what you're saying.
It's more fun driving the cars handles,
Right on. Well, it's good to hear from you, Eric, and look forward to seeing you at the next round.
Hopefully, it will be better.
Yeah, good run today. Ryan, you now you have want to have a word with Mate Orban?
I do. Mate was involved in a fantastic race, really, battling pretty much all the way through in that little M3. Just talk us through it, Mate.
It was so hard for me. I mean, much more powerful cars around me. I tried everything to push to the max the car, but it was really, really hard.
I mean, obviously you're at a power deficit the entire time. So what was your strategy to try and make sure you stayed ahead of drivers?
I try to gain as much time as it possible in the middle stint to hang out on the straights. I mean, Reese was so fast in the big hole, and
yeah. I mean, we're going to go to Vitus Park next, which is I don't know if you've ever driven Vitus Park, but it's a much twistier track. That's surely going to be better for your M3.
Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting for that.
Waiting for that, fantastic. So good luck in the rest of the season, Marte. And Keith, you got one of our golden oldies, as it were. He's not an old person, but he's definitely a golden oldie. Reese Gardner.
He's a really old friend too, long time. I've known him, probably one of the longest people I've known in sim racing, and it's good to see Reese out here racing and actually enjoying himself, getting the job done, and bringing the car home and not having any issues come up. So Reese, it's good to hear from you and good to see your name again. Well done today. First off, just talk us through how your race went.
Oh my goodness, it was, well, I knew from the start that the Holden, there was nothing I could do to sort of bring it home with a good strategy, because it's such a heavy car, so hard on its tyres. I'm losing like 3 seconds a lap at the end of a stint on hards, so yeah, definitely not the best car for this circuit, but of course I do have the power. Just, it's fun just jetting by people on the straights, but yeah, I hit Yuha into turn 1, and I want to apologise to him for that. That was
that's where that big dent came from
on my part.
Yeah. Well, Reese always a gentleman for sure, and I do wish you good fortune, because I know the last time I was around and involved, I know you were having a heck of a time, and it's nice to see you not have anything on track incidents and also technical stuff come up. So hopefully you're enjoying your sim racing again, because I know the last time we spoke you weren't quite enjoying it as much, but it's great to see you again, Reese.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I am enjoying this very much. It's good to have a nice car under me and to be able to get myself up there again.
Right on. Well, again, great run today, and thank you to all the drivers. Ryan, it's been I mean, this is it's been a great return. I'm so happy that I was able to get here. I know I was a little late, but I would not want to miss this, and I'm going to do everything in my power to not miss any of these races, because it's just sheer enjoyment, especially when you get to do it live and not have to watch it back. To do it live, you get to feel the things and feel the emotion and just the things that are going on track, because you know there's an attachment over the years to a lot of these drivers and even the new guys that you develop, and it hits close to the heart, you know.
I mean, it does, and it's been a fantastic race, and real nostalgia and emotions have been brought up, you know, by this championship. Everyone's so eager for it, and these are the championship standings at the moment, Keith. I mean, how do you read this? The top 3 that we thought would be fighting for the title. Those are the 3 hot favourites for the season are in the top 3, but there's a bit of a gap to Vite.
Well, I mean, Tvite obviously with the strategy from today here, Davis and Holm sharing wins, obviously. Still early in the championship, but what I like to see is that you don't have the top 6 are blanketed by less than 20 points, which is good because
5.
Yeah, top 5. Top 5. You're right. Sorry, but it allows for things to change. Obviously, with the sprint races coming up, that's 2 races for points. So. Mm-hmm. And in the sprint races, things are a little more quick to happen. Strategy isn't so much of a factor. It's more.
And for you, the viewers, if you think this racing is intense, wait till you see the sprint racing coming up in the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the nice part is we're seeing a good variety of cars all the way through. Look what we have in the top 5 or top 4. Sorry, top 4 are all different cars, different manufacturers.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 different cars in the top 7 in the championship at the moment.
Oh yes, yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, as I say, it exaggerates the point even more. It's fantastic stuff, fantastic variety. We go to Vitus Park next, which was a happy hunting ground for Davilar and Davis last time we ran there at Vitus Park, all the way back in Season 2. In 2011, as we say, Davis took his first win there. Davilar took the win from De Grief after a back marker got in De Grief's way on a very last lap, high drama there. So looking forward to that track. It's a spectacular track. It's not a real track. It's a fantasy track in Switzerland where racing is actually banned. So, but it is a spectacular track, and it feels like it could be a track also as well. So we're looking forward to that, there is 2 30-point races available at that track. I mean, you raced Vitus Park before. Keith.
I have.
We've seen classic races there in both ATCC and VTM.
Yes.
It's superb, isn't it?
It is, and you know what? We've got a lot of excitement coming up with it, especially it being sprint races there. But the great part is, and this is something going back to what I first opened with, is my nostalgia. For anybody who happens to catch this, isn't aware of the things we do, go to our YouTube channel. If you're clearly already on there, check out the countless hours of content that's there. You can go back and witness some of these drivers in their very first races. I mean, it is actually, I'm a little speechless when I actually went through and looked at the amount of videos that are there and the time that's gone into it. So for anybody who isn't aware of us, or if you are, it's good to take a trip down memory lane to see some of the stuff that's happened in the past, because it's been a long road here, man.
It has, and we are, obviously, we're back in 2 weeks' time, the 23rd of July, as you can see from the calendar, which will be in front of you right now. And then we are obviously off to Laguna Seca and Pukekohe Park for these next 3 rounds are all sprint events. We've got 6 races coming up in just 6 weeks. Well, just 4 weeks really. It's put together 2 races a night. We're looking forward to that. So join us again at the same time in 2 weeks' time, and we'll have this action for you live once again. Congratulations today to Adrian Hum for his win, and also to Toby Davis for his podium, and John Monroe. Davis and Hum tied at the top of the standings going into races 3 and 4 of the season. Who will come out on top at Vitus Park? Will Davis repeat his feat, or will Adrian Hum continue his surge to become a Touring Pro Series great? We'll find out in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching.